and the teams are getting ready to come out. But, you know, Kingston College will be mindful of that press because, as I said, Garvey, they'll want to invert into the middle of the park. And once you go to their wide players, when they start from the back, then they see you stretched, and immediately that ball is played in the middle.
So the teams make their way out to the middle for the final time this season in a competitive fixture, the Olivier Shield playoff. The symbol of schoolboy football supremacy in the island of Jamaica on the line here at the Stets playing ground. Garvey Maceo, winners of the Costa Cup, hoping to win it for the first time. Kingston College, they've been here before on so many occasions, looking for another All-Ireland crown. As with a prestigious occasion and these types of occasions, the sponsors on board and part of the greeting party. And what a wonderful season we've had. If you would have caught our pre-game show, you'd have seen the lineups that were selected by our analysts for the season. I'm sure, as these things do, they come with a lot of discussion and controversy, but it highlights that we've had a season to remember with stars all around the country making their mark in no uncertain terms, and the best of the best meeting here this afternoon just to cap it off. A season I suppose we will always remember, this one.
You certainly remember it, and even with the Da Costa Cup final, where I guess most persons, if it was like in the Champions League where you have them putting the name on the trophy immediately after they've won, I pretty much would feel like they were beginning to put McGrath on the trophy before that 97th minute one from O'Brien, who really sent everything out the door, and just like that, they're here. I don't think, and for many a times when you look at these two teams, Ligier, at some point in this season, you would have thought they would make it. Even when you look after the 3-0 that Kingston College suffered at the hands of Jamaica College, and even Garvey Maceo when they got here and they lost 2-0 to Ocherius, and you felt, okay, yeah, they got in the semi, but probably wouldn't go as far because they'll come up against the Glenmuir team. They both managed to really show comeback. And Garvey, for me, they're the mother of comebacks. We pause for the playing of the national anthem.
So the mascots make their way off the field eagerly as well. I'm sure getting away from the sun and the humidity And these two teams have met twice before at this stage, with certainly once before, I should say, at this stage, just 3 years ago. Kingston College coming away with a 2-0 victory. As we take a look at the officials for today's match, Alexis Perry is the man in the middle. He'll be assisted by Melvin Reed and Ricardo McKenzie. Daniel Parchment is the fourth official. Garvey Maceo, they are considered to be the home team for this one. Let's take a look at their starting lineup. Garfield Tomlinson, the spectacular Garfield Tomlinson between the sticks, and the back four of Tyreek McKinley, Ronaldo Hitchman, Malik Robinson, and Devani McIntosh. In the middle of the park, Livingston Donaldson, Denana Thompson, Everett Swaby, and Jihari Williams. And up top, Omarion O'Brien will complete it along with Christopher Mundle.
Yeah, this team, like I said, O'Brien, Swaby, and Mundle are the players in this team that really has to come to the party.
This is Kingston College's starting lineup. Malik Williams, of course, between the sticks. Roger Jimenez, J. Sean Edwards, Kevin Cole, Kamal Patterson, part of the back four. Devon Green, Matron Martin, Kajay Fletcher in the middle of the park. James Gallimore, Deshaun Byfield with 22 goals to his name, and Damain Smith completing the trio up top.
A pretty interesting fact, as you would have mentioned, Donald, that these two teams would have met in the 2021 edition of the Olivier Shield, and there are actually two survivors from each of those squads, one on each team, that being Malik Williams, who was on the bench for Kingston College in that 2021 final, and Garvey Maceo's captain, Christopher Mundle. You will see him there to the right of your screen now. Their number 10 was wearing number 3 and also started on the bench for Garvey Maceo in that game, which Kingston College would have won by 2-0. I also mentioned captains, and Kingston College will be without their usual captain, Kimani Reese, the right back, out of the lineup today. So it's going to be Kavis Paul, the dominating force of the Guyanese, wearing the armband for Kingston College today.
And well deserved too, I reckon. He has shown real leadership qualities this season, Kavis Paul. And what an honor for him to lift the Olivier Shield should his team, Kingston College, beat Garvey Maceo this afternoon. Well, I think we made a little bit of an error earlier. It's actually Daniel Parchment who is going to be the man in the middle, and Alexis Perry will be the fourth official. There he is. Outstanding FIFA referee will get this underway here at St. Elizabeth Technical High School. We are almost ready. Garvey Maceo gets in place. The final game of the 2024 schoolboy football season.
Parchment should feel at home. He's a man from St. Elizabeth, now residing in Trelawney. But yeah, certainly a top official. Was out for a while with injuries, but he's back now and looking to continue his good work on the pitch.
And we're on the way here at Stets. Kingston College against Garvey Maceo as they fight for the Olivier Shield in this playoff. Champions already in their own rights, but I'm sure they're looking for that big title, All-Ireland winners. How will they fare in the opening stages as Fletcher gets his first touch? Hoping to get others involved. Dewan Green playing it inside. Garvey Maceo, they are known to defend stubbornly, and on that occasion, a little bit too eager. The free kick awarded to Kingston College.
I think I love the pass there from Green, but I think what made him make that pass is the run, because that run was really an intelligent one. When you look at it, a lot of people probably wouldn't realize that Gallimore running from inside out, and he passed into a channel where it was about 2 channels away from him, but that run was made, allowing that pass to go through.
Yeah, the blindside run from Gallimore, who's in the lineup today in place of one of the goal scorers for Kingston College from that Manning Cup final, Demario Daly, a different dynamic team, a much more powerful runner. But here is a way in which Kingston College really threatened in the Manning Cup final. Demain Smith and his deliveries.
Here's the ball inside, and it's cleared easily by Garvey Maceo. Smith will get it back.
It was an interesting wall setup from Garvey Maceo as well. From an angle like that, you don't usually see 4 players trying to block that shot, but
I guess
worked
it's because
out.
of what you spoke about in terms of the deliveries and how they've gone about it as well, Kingston College.
And often we did see Demain Smith from those acute angles go for goal directly, so trying to eliminate that threat and maybe force them into delivering into the box where they feel like they would have the advantage, Garvey Maceo.
Definitely coaches doing their homework.
Patterson. Too much on that one. A little bit too much on that one from Deshaun Byfield. 22 goals, 7 assists to his name as we take a look at Lester Hibbert. Still basking in the glory of the Costa Cup win.
Could be tired too.
Yeah, highly
pretty
doubt
much
that.
run every step.
Highly doubt that.
Yeah, he never seems like the one to be tired,
No.
Lester Hibbert.
But he does go up and down that side, that touchline, kicking every ball. But one of the things that I think we haven't spoken about, and I think it's, yeah, they've won both Manning and the Costa Cup. I feel like they may play a little bit more freely today. Yeah, it's a bonus here, it's a big title you want to win. But I think having won those 2 titles, against somewhat the odds, they will play a bit more freely today. And just on cue, as I felt, Kingston College would be the aggressor.
Green playing it forward and getting Byfield involved. He goes to the byline and he was looking to get the ball inside, and a corner kick has been awarded.
Another lovely pass from defensive midfield, deep in midfield from Dewan Green. I'm sure this man, Vassar Reynolds, will be so glad to have him back in the starting 11. Missed out on a couple of games, including the Manning Cup semi-final and in the Champions Cup as well. Dewan Green, but played a starring role in that final. Demain Smith again to try and whip in this in-swinger for Garvey Maceo, or for Kingston College, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, it's Garvey Maceo that's doing the defending. As the KC getting that one again at the near post, easily repelled by Garvey Maceo. KC doing all of the attacking so far in the early stages of this one, as Patterson gets by Omarion O'Brien with some ease. But O'Brien is known for winning it back and also leaving the ball behind at times, but trying to get a foot in there. Patterson getting some assistance here, and KC will start from the back once more. Jayshawn Edwards, the youngster, growing in stature as the season progresses. Ziminis with a long ball along the channel, which is a little bit wayward, and so possession back to Garvey Maceo.
I think one of the features we've seen with Kingston College already, they're looking to try and make those penetrative passes from deeper line players who will have more time and space because you don't mark that deep. And we saw a couple from Green earlier, and that's just the mark of it, that you play back, you call it up, back and through, and they played it that way a lot of times.
Oh, played along that left-hand side, and KC with the possession. Demain Smith, oh, he does wonderfully well. Tried to get a good ball inside the area. It was in the danger area, but nobody was really rushing onto it, and to be fair, it was too close to Garfield Tomlinson at any rate. And no issues in the end for the Garvey Maceo back line. Garvey Maceo looking to get their first attack going. Swaby playing it to a teammate, and the resulting effort was wide, but Malik Williams skipping across to his right and gathering as well.
And Malik Williams as a keeper, I think, has been growing in confidence in the latter part of the season. Manning Cup semi-final and final, I think he was very solid. Didn't have too much to do, yes, but what he did have to do was create a calming presence behind the Kingston College backline, and he did that very well.
Intercepted there by Donata Thompson, and Garvey Maceo moving forward. What can they do with this attack? Ryan lost it.
Yeah, I wonder who's over there dealing with that issue for Kingston College.
I think he's a boy from Guyana.
Yeah, and O'Brien, he will frustrate throughout, and yes, he'll lose those to us, but one thing for sure, he'll continue plugging away, as we saw in the Augusta Cup final. He'll continue to believe and continue to run that channel. He's a willing runner, and a player like that as a midfielder, you like that, despite whatever may happen. He certainly will be running, and we see, I call it that. And they've been using it a lot this season, the coaches, with sending the goalkeepers down, giving the timeout signals for them to go down, and then using it as a tactical moment. And it's right on cue. Normally 5 to 10 minutes or 5-8 minutes in a game, you pretty much look at what your opponent is doing and decide that there may be some changes to your in-game, or your plan you came into the game with. And I think that's what's happening for Garvey Maceo now. They're the one who initiated this one.
Has the game opened up a little bit in the last couple of minutes?
And as I said, I felt because of I expected them to come into this one with a little bit of the pressure off and play a little bit more open, and Kingston College was expected to be the aggressor, and so it has been.
You know, you did give a very good reason as to why we see these tactical timeouts, but, and let me just say it, I despise it. Only 7 minutes into the game, and a keeper that hasn't had anything to do, all of a sudden down with an issue. Yes, I understand it gives coaches and players a time for hydration and tactical resets, but this early into the game, it just breaks the flow immediately, and I'm not a fan.
And maybe Garvey Maceo is trying to break the flow, and I'll tell you, from speaking from a coach's standpoint, I can understand not being a fan of it because it does break the flow, but I can tell you from the sideline, there are times when you want to adjust things with your team and it's just not getting across. You're trying to send the message and they're just not getting it. You really need a time where you have their full attention, and you can't wait until halftime. So I understand, but yeah, as a coach, I'll tell you, I'll back it because I've used it and it works.
And it's easy to say that both teams benefit, but
yeah,
that's not necessarily the case, is it?
Well, I tell you what, if the team that has been dominating wouldn't want the break,
right?
And for sure, but I tell you what, when the other team is in ascendancy, the opposing coach will do the same.
Well, there is Kingston College trying to play out from the back, and hard pressed to do so, but they will get the throw in that they take quickly. And ball launched by Byfield over the top and tried to lock the goalkeeper. James Gallimore looking for his 5th goal this season.
Has featured mainly from the bench this season, Gallimore.
Here comes Martin. Haven't seen a lot from Casey's number 10 in this game. Not as yet anyway. Fletcher collecting that centrally and sending it out wide. And ball touched forward by Patterson, but Garvey Maceo covering. Casey recovering. Patterson sending this one inside, and Thompson was in the way. And Byfield trying to control it, and it's come out wide on the left-hand side. Trying to make his way through, his inside the box, turn, shoots! Oh! Just over the top. Well, we've seen a few magical moments from Demain Smith. And again, he was weaving his magic there and almost scored for Kingston College.
Yeah, it was a close moment for Garvey Maceo, and yeah, the little magician there is about to just wave that wand and almost nestled in the back of the net. The deflection almost being kind to him as well, but giving a lot of work there. Malik Robinson, though, doing a lot of organizing at the back there for Garvey Maceo.
Corner kick coming in a dangerous area. Good take by Tomlinson. Had to reach high to gather that one.
Yeah, I was feeling that he should have had an outlet, but Garvey had committed everybody to that defense, and I often said, you know, I'm not a fan of that, no, because I really like to keep 3 players up high and always having a target and outlet.
Here they come again. Kingston College looking for the early goal here. Ball sent across, not quite. And attack wasted there by Casey. Goal kick coming up.
It's not only as an outlet for those corner kicks, it's a good way to defend as well, because then the opposing team will have to push numbers back to deal with your transitional threat.
Yeah, easily they'll have to keep 4 back if I keep 3, or at least matching me, but most times you go a number up in defensively, so that's keeping 4 players out.
And I'm noticing a bit of a switch as we see an interception there from Garvey Maceo and their number 13, Everell Swaby. Garvey Maceo in the past couple of games have gone to that 4-4-2 or a narrow 4-2-2 shape when defending. In this game, I'm noticing they've gone a bit the route of Kingston College and are favoring more of a 4-1-2-1-2 diamond in their high press.
Yeah, most times coaches will try to nullify or match the opposing. Then it comes down to quality. Which team has the better quality players in those matchups? And you get what you call qualitative advantage, where you have the better quality players in those positions.
And I think generally, if you ask any coach, the best way to match up against a diamond, the space that it can bring, is to play a diamond yourself.
Yeah.
Garvey Maceo playing around with this as they try to get out of their own defensive third. And it's a very patient build-up until they've lost possession. And KC not patient as they go into the attacking third. Keeper is off his line and just shepherding that one.
And talking about those matchup too and nullifying it too as well, Ligier, at times what you do to control a dominance of a team is to avoid those areas too. And if you have very good wide players, then you go those route directly and not go through the middle to try as best to come into those traffic areas where you feel you don't match up in terms of quality, despite you doing it numerically.
Garvey Maceo with the clearance, and they have possession, still in their own half though. Really trying to take care of the possession. It's good to see a schoolboy football team making 10 or so passes. Let's see what they do in transition though. Kingston College with enough numbers, and they have a free kick in their own half.
Both teams trying to make a strong effort to keep the ball playing. I think Kingston College a tad bit more vertical in their intention as opposed to Garvey Maceo, but here we can see a little bit of that diamond shape that Garvey Maceo are trying to use to unsettle this Kingston College team defensively. Kingston College doing a good job of playing around it and eventually winning a foul.
Yeah, one of the things which is helping Kingston College too with those vertical passes is the number of players they have in attack when they are with possession, as opposed to Garvey, who is laboring to get men forward. So that vertical pass that we see coming from Green, or even defensively, Zimini.
Well, there's Green switching it across to that far side, and it was too much for Smith on that occasion as he tried to get that ball inside the box first time.
Yeah, so I think that's the difference now. And you've been talking a lot about out of possession, what they're doing, and in possession now, that's the difference I'm seeing with Kingston College, just a little bit more quicker in getting numbers forward to allow those vertical passes. And in matching Kingston College, they're a little bit, you see, sometimes if you're so much about the opponent and trying to nullify them, then that takes away from your high qualities or what your better features are as a team.
Yeah, and you're exactly right, actually, Dwight, because Kingston College, they're a proactive team. I think Garvey Maceo, in often situations, especially lately, have been a reactive team. So they are changing their shapes to try and nullify what the opponent will be doing. Kingston College does do that as well. But in possession, they stick true to what they do. And that's that 3-1-6 that we've been seeing throughout practically 90% of the season with them, especially when Duane Green is at the base, dictating play and playing those passes in behind. So I think it's a much more cohesive attacking unit for Kingston College, and that's going to be the trend that we'll be seeing for majority of this game.
Byfield has the ball for Kingston College, close to the corner flag, surrounded by a couple of defenders. A battle that he's lost out on, and it's a throw into Garvey Maceo. So it's an interesting battle going on here between the Manning and the Costa Cup champions. Pastor Reynolds demanding more from a couple of his players just now. McIntosh, Thompson.
Yeah, and that's what you're talking about, Leger, seeing those square passes. When at one point I saw Swaby, who was in a very good position to receive, and then Jahari Williams, the former York Castle player.
Well, he keep his balance and keep that one inside. O'Brien plays it inside. Oh, here's a big chance for Swaby. His effort is blocked. And another attempt. Oh, that's well wide of the bar. But Garvey Maceo with an opportunity here. And maybe Swaby a little bit disappointed that that effort was charged down.
That's what I tell you about O'Brien. Always a willing runner and kept his cool there to pick Swaby out. Swaby, in the end, picked the defender out. Picked out Edwards. But yeah, that's Swaby. In the finals too, he was arguably their best player. Didn't score, and in the end we went to the scorer. But Swaby consistent, and even in my All the Costa team, you know, he was very much on the brink of getting in there. It's just because he plays through the middle, but he does go out wide at times, and I was tempted to slot him in there. But I really like him as a player.
Yeah, fantastic player, especially at his height and physicality, the deftness that he has. And you saw an example of that there, just evading Kavis Paul just an inch, just enough to get the space to get the shot off. But disappointingly for him, he picked out Jason Edwards immediately after.
Garvey Maceo showing that they can be dangerous in this one. And here they come again along that right-hand side. Not a bad first touch. Trying to deliver inside Swaby, but it was blocked.
Yeah, at it again there, Swaby. The deft touch, as you spoke about just now, Leger, was really good. So often we see player going across, and with that.
Here's another opportunity, and looking for a corner kick, and they won't be getting that one, Garvey Maceo. It's a goal kick coming up for Kingston College.
Yeah, he did make the run from inside out, and sometimes you see players going across with that momentum. That touch is so heavy and it runs out. He was quite good with it there, Swaby. And he does that run very often in the game. Kingston College, as we've noticed, more direct. Just now I felt Mundo just when the ball was played inside and Williams was on it. Mundell needed to make that run. There was a lot of space in behind Kingston College's back line just now. Here it is again.
They are being meticulous. Garvey Maceo, Mundell, McKinley getting Williams involved, and it's through the middle now. They've lost it. Martin trying to put that one forward, and they continues through Garvey Maceo. McIntosh. Space opening up here for Garvey Maceo. Come through in a dangerous spot. Kingston College trying to clear. And here's a snapshot. And no issues there for Malik Williams.
But it's just what Dwight would have mentioned earlier. Yes, they're possessing the ball well in the deep third and in the middle third, but once they get into that final third, not enough runners, not enough movement in and around, and then it depends on a moment of individual brilliance from Garvey Maceo. And Kingston College are doing well generally of closing down the space whenever one of their players are driving through. So I think they need to turn some of that deep possession into some settled possession in their final third.
I just think they need to pick their heads up as well. And I often said to my players, you know, your square pass and your back pass, use it as insurance. Once you get on the football, you should be looking to go forward first. And if that is not on, and then you go sideways or back. I think Garvey's looking to go sideways first.
Just a reminder for you to download the SportsMax app today from the Google Play or the App Store. Well, the curtain is closing on the schoolboy football season in Jamaica, but so much available for you to enjoy.
Funny enough, I mean, well, Garvey, they've taken a water break, but one's coming up at about 22, 23 minutes, a bit early. I would have loved to see Kingston College after, well, Garvey's keeper was down to ensure that they got that. But yeah, and for the attack that they just had, which ended with a shot from O'Brien, I think it's for the first time that they had at least three players close enough to at least had a little link up. But I still felt that when they are deep, the movement of Mundle and O'Brien has to be more dynamic, because Mundle here, I saw him, could have looked to peel off and run in behind, but again picking up the ball in front of the defense line and making it easier for them rather than turning them around.
Players just sorting out themselves, getting the refreshment as well. There's another break or stoppage in the play.
I think what was happening there, I think Vassal Reynolds was signaling to Parchment, asking him if, you know, maybe he should just take the water break now and not have to stop on the 23 minutes. He's concerned in the last 5 minutes. He's seeing Garvey growing in the game after a good start from his team. And that has come to Ligier, as much as you say you don't like it. That surge from Garvey came after, you know, that little tactical break that they had at the sideline.
So Kingston College, they have a free kick here, and it is a promising situation coming up for the team from North Street. We see Smith behind it. That's the main Smith. He's holding conference as well with one Kamal Patterson. Four-man wall has been constructed by Garvey Maceo with some uncertainty, to be fair. It's left to Smith. Smith drives that one through. Garvey Maceo with the clearance, even though it's not convincing. Mundle wasn't under a lot of pressure, but puts it into touch at any rate. Lovely stuff, trying to send that one inside Deshaun Byfield, and a corner kick is coming his school's way.
And again, Garvey, they've opted to bring all their players back to defend this one, so no outlets if they were to gather it.
Here's a corner kick again at the near post. Couldn't get by the first player.
Now there's corner kicks from Kingston College. They've not really beaten the first hurdle.
Kicking in a bit of a breeze though.
Yeah, maybe there'll be runners across that near post.
Requires a little bit more elevation there. Smith, again unsuccessful. And there were no runners at that near post. I think it was just a matter of lack of strength. Green launching that one, not clear properly, and now they manage to get out of the box. O'Brien collecting that one, sending it across to McIntosh. McIntosh was trying to get Swaby involved. And now it's Casey's turn. Lovely interception by Garvey Maceo, but they give up the ball kindly in return. Here they come again. Oh, that's a lovely first touch. Manages to keep his footing, setting up his teammate. Here's a shot. Should have been on target from Fletcher. Gallimore did so well on the right-hand side as he made his way inside the box and saw Fletcher in space. Fletcher should have done better.
Oh, to hit the target, at least to bring a save out of Tomlinson. You have to. He had time, he had space, and normally those two combines give you quality. That was lacking there, surprisingly, but just needed to hold his head down, lock that ankle, and drive the laces through it. But what I think is affecting Garvey too as well, not doing well in transition, and even the organized attacking phase, they're not getting the dynamism from the players. We saw Brian dropping deep. I'd prefer his run outside just now. He went inside collect. He passed, but then he stood and watched the ball progress ahead of him, and he's an attacking player out wide. So that's really hurting them with possession.
Yeah, pinpoint there, Dwight. The movement and the dynamism, as you would have said, hurting, or lack thereof, is hurting Garvey Maceo. And for Kingston College, it's quite the opposite. I'm not saying they've been the most fluent team in the world, Kingston College, but when they do get forward, even that chance for Fletcher not too long ago, it was because it was worked a 2v1 out on the right-hand side and then moved inside for a player arriving late, those third-man runs coming in from deep. So Kingston College working the attacking situations much better than Garvey Maceo so far.
McKinley inside. Swaby got a touch there. Casey with the clearance. McKinley with the throw. And Mundell trying to move away from his marker and run into space here. Thompson trying to find McIntosh and does. Thompson. Here's the dink. And KC, they have a little bit more defending to do as that one is put into touch. Swaby's ball inside was blocked. Put it to touch once more.
Maybe a chance for Garvey Maceo to sustain some pressure here. They have a throw in deep in KC territory.
Well, it's going to be a long throw. Fletcher was trying to win a header, but fell in the box, comes out as far as Thompson. Thompson's effort. No issues there for Malik Williams.
Hey, you can't fault Thompson on that. Yeah, it fell from the sky, and guess what? He timed it well, was patient enough, showed composure to get that knee over it, was able to keep it on target, but would have taken something more special from that distance to get by Williams. You know, when I look at that pass back to just now from Garvey Maceo, so often in your build-up phase that when you do go back, it should be with an intention to make a pass going forward from that person who receive it, because the opposing team, the defense line, is a little bit flat now with the ball going back.
And even that move from their defensive midfielder, Garvey Maceo, as they get the ball through the thirds a bit now. Delana Thompson as a solo pivot in that instance, with the goalkeeper already forming the middle of that three. We'll get back onto that.
Yep, here's an opportunity as Mundell sends this one wide. Cutting on his right foot. Here's the shot. Oh, that's a magnificent save. Denying Tyreek McKinley, who was certain he was getting his fifth goal there. But Malik Williams went flying and made the save. Corner kick taken quickly. Here's the ball inside. It's not a bad one. The header is wide of the mark. And Kingston College, they get some reprieve.
Well, certainly, Garvey, you talk about sustained pressure. Ligier had said it earlier, but sometimes being the most obvious is the greatest disguise. That run outside, everybody expected him to go to Mundell. He cut inside because he knows what he has. Lovely curling shot, aiming for that top corner, definitely going in. But that's a great save from Williams. Yeah, technique was right too. Went with the right hand, and trying to get that one out goal.
Yeah, that's a fantastic, fantastic save from Malik Williams. The only surviving member of that 2021 team that won the Olivier Shield, Kingston College. And he's really pulled out a doozy. I said that he has been growing in confidence, growing in stature in goal for Kingston College over the past few weeks, and he proved it a bit there. Wasn't tested like this in previous games, but he certainly pulled out a show-stopping save there, and that was a good piece eventually of Garvey Maceo pressure. But I still think, as I was trying to explain before they got the ball forward, they formed that back three with the goalkeeper in the middle, two centre-back split, and then the defensive midfielder and their number 6 dropped in between the centre-back still to collect the ball from his goalkeeper. I just think that's a waste of space.
No, you definitely want to progress the ball each time you pass it, so he needs to be further up the park in receiving that. It's just like a player in the middle of the park coming between two opposing player defenders, coming ahead of them to receive the ball, then turning. Why not stay behind them and get that ball playing through to you, then you turn and go ahead away from them. So I quite understand that the ball can be progressed much more, and then he doesn't have to play those long searching balls left and right and not progressing it much, but then he can pass it short into players who are closer, so the triangles are a little bit smaller.
And I'm noticing a bit of a change in shape for Kingston College in their build-up phase, deviating from the 3-1 that we have seen them use so often this season. They're now dropping a midfielder back into it. Well, I saw Matrim Martin drop into the pivot not too long ago, and then now I'm seeing their number 20, Kajay Fletcher, forming that 3-2 at the base with the one green and their 3 defenders. So tactical tweaks from all sorts, by all sorts, from both coaches. I'm personally loving it so far.
Yeah, and I think that double pivot there when Green gets in, they want Green in there more as an 8 because he progresses the ball so well. So not to have him that deep, so getting the player alongside him that could get a little bit deeper than he is, and he progresses it so well. But that's just it. I saw Swaby now, who was definitely in a channel, and a vertical pass would have broken about 2 lines there, and he was a little bit upset that they didn't try that. You just have to be brave, and when you're breaking line, you just put a punt on it. And Swaby, who has good touch, you trust him to really trap that, and they just went to him airily and he lost out, or the hit was too far.
Opportunity here, and Garvey Maceo defending that one.
Yeah, that Malik Robinson there. The feature, one of his greatest attributes is organizing and reading the play. So he gets his players in front of him to do the work, and he just comes across and mops up. Not the touch he wanted there, didn't want to give up the corner kick, but did well to read that danger and just smother it just now.
Corner kick coming up. Again, the near post struggles continue.
It's a case where a defender was not alert enough to recognizing a player coming from the blind side. You have to be assertive when you're at that near post.
Patterson is the one that's coming across to take it now. I think they're just aiming for elevation on this occasion. Patterson's ball, and the ball went outside before it came back in.
And a team so good, really, at set pieces, struggling so far today, Kingston College, yet to get any of their deliveries right. Wasting a few opportunities. But here come Garvey Maceo again, trying to build from the back, trying to invite pressure from Kingston College. But that's
and
a
they've
poor
given
pass
up
out.
possession. And here is Smith's effort. That's over the top.
Certainly got elevation on that occasion.
Yeah, it's Hitchman there was poor. I mean, you don't do that. You just don't do that basic defending. You are outside on the opposite flank, the active side. You're passing to the passive side in your defensive third. You can make the switch, and I'm okay with you making the switch if you get into that mid third, and then you do that, but not from that region. And you're talking about the struggles that Kingston College has from the corner kicks, not getting the trajectory they want, but maybe it's a case in point where they may have been a little bit more creative and gone short a bit.
Oh, again, they give up possession. Fletcher now inside. Martin looking for the run. And too much on that one from Martin to Byfield.
It's Hitchman 2 in a row there. Has given up. And maybe Kingston College. You know what, Ligier, there's a case in which we recognize twice now Hitchman made a bad pass. And that's because I think Kingston College has been baiting the press, allowing them to pass to Hitchman, recognizing that of the two centre-backs that remains to pass out, he has the less of quality. And that's what you do sometimes. So you get the pass, you feel it's okay, but it's not the pass. It's not really you creating that pass, it's the opponent giving you that pass, and then the press is triggered.
Yeah, many people think that a pressing scheme is set up only to just win the ball actively. Sometimes it's trying to force the opposition into doing things they're uncomfortable with and then winning the ball, because Hitchman could simply play that errant pass, which he did. He could boot it upfield and you'd win the ball in that way. It's all about winning the ball in different ways. It's not necessarily only about applying pressure and winning the ball high.
Yeah, coming in late on that occasion, Demain Smith.
And I think Garvey Maceo are trying their best, especially in their initial build-up phase, to keep their shape as wide as possible. Reason being to, as they give up the ball again, it's Duan Green.
Yep. KC again couldn't capitalize on the error from Garvey Maceo.
And I think they're trying to keep their build-up shape as wide as possible, trying to stretch that Kingston College defensive shape, that narrow diamond that they're trying to use, trying to move those central midfielders as wide as possible to defend in the wide areas. But at the same time, the Garvey Maceo central midfielders are not exploiting the space left.
I was about to say that. You create
wide.
space, because that's why you pass the football, is to shift players out of position, but then you have to use it.
Well, here's Garvey Maceo looking to utilize that space in the attacking third. Mundell is forced wide. And the clearance eventually made by Kingston College into touch. One thing is for certain is in this game, Garvey Maceo, they are taking their time and probably taking a little bit too much time in their endeavor to progress. Tomlinson goes long,
and you see, with that pass now from Tomlinson, Ligier, coming wide, yeah, even if he chose to go wide, which he did, what you needed to see as the ball is traveling, a deeper line player coming to support for that back pass, because you recognize that he's not going to be able to get that and turn and take the defender on, and that's what you're not getting from them, those recognition that the support is needed. The ball can only move quickly if support arrives quickly.
two for the challenge that's coming from Patterson. Green was there to help out. Clearance now up towards Gallimore. This is James Gallimore losing his footing, trying to win back the ball. A hand to the face, and he is going to get some attention from off the bench. Gallimore.
Not for the first time in this game, he would have lost his footing as he's attempting to complete a dribble. Not quite sure where he would have come from the backhand, I think, of the defender. Inadvertent, of course. But just as we would have imagined Donald and Dwight, this game against Vassar Reynolds, a known hard man tactically, And of course, against this Garvey Maceo team, Lester Hibbert at the helm, and we know that they still have ties to their technical director, Marion Gordon, also a known tactician in Jamaican football. All of their team really can see they're really keyed in on the minor details of the game, Garvey Maceo. So it's no surprise that we're seeing so many small tactical intricacies that are playing out on the pitch. One, as Garvey Maceo give it up again.
Yeah, it's a bit of deja vu, isn't it? As Smith is on the ball, he's lost possession. Just slipped. And Garvey Maceo looking to go the other way. Here they are with a little urgency. Swaby has one runner on the outside. Ball coming inside. There's no one there in yellow. And there's going to be a throw into Kingston College.
I'm quite disappointed with Tyree McKinley, the left back. Now he's looking to race forward with all that energy after the pass was made. No anticipation or expectancy that that pass was going to come across. This was your centre back running out of position, yes, and going down. He's going to make that delivery across. And there wasn't any support there. I think what Kingston College is doing well also, Olivier, is that because they're looking to win the ball back in the middle of the park, and at times they go between a high press and a medium press, depending on how Garvey is passing out, and they look to win it in the middle of the park.
Here they come again. Donaldson plays it out wide. Opportunity coming up for Garvey Maceo. Cutting inside and was eventually robbed. Mundle. McIntosh picks it up. McIntosh with the ball inside. Oh, it's a good ball to Swaby, who mistimed his jump and header.
When moments before that I was talking about McKinley not anticipating. Swaby certainly did, and had gotten himself, he did everything right, but that final bit of play, which is the header, got in there at the right time, arriving, just needed to flick that on. Just a little bit too eager there, just needed to allow that to come across him a little bit more of a sideways header, more the side of the forehead rather than the front of it, and that's why it went in front of the near post.
Yeah, probably saw the net rippling before the ball even had come to him, Everald Swaby. But well worked in the end. I still do have my small issues with how Garvey Maceo are going about things, but when they do get those moments of brilliance individually, working that small advantage over on the right wing, it was a lovely cross and a lovely run from Swaby. They come so close to perfection.
Yeah, again, a lovely player Swaby is.
Ball played up towards the halfway line as Garvey Maceo will be hoping to get an advantage heading into the break. Patterson now with it for KC. Fletcher deciding to go back. Edwards across to Paul. Zimini's now involved for Kingston College with some space to work in. Martin has come across wide. Throw-in coming up for KC. We're entering the final minute of the 45. Not sure how much time will be added for stoppages. We're hearing 3 minutes actually will be added for stoppages. Ball played inside, Byfield trying to win it. Free kick coming up for Kingston College. Another bit of stoppage coming up as a Garvey Maceo player goes down. All's well with Tyreek McKinley.
For clarification, our interpreter indicates that a minimum of 3 minutes will be added for stoppage. That is 3 minutes to be added for stoppage.
Patterson is there. Green is also there in the number 8. Green's ball inside, not a bad one. Headed out wide. And Smith on it. Damain Smith. Sending this one in a dangerous area. Here's a shot. Oh, Fletcher. He had more time and space than he thought. He dragged that one wide of the mark.
Yeah, not for the first time in this contest. The composure evading Kajay Fletcher at the vital moment. Had one earlier in the game when he really leant back and blazed it over the top. This time, the technique, the positioning was all wrong and led to that one going wide. Another huge chance for Kingston College.
Swaby trying to get there, but Patterson is also in the way. Makes the clearance. Smith collecting that one deep. Lovely work by Smith. Settles for the throw. The Olivier Shield was once a two-way playoff, you know. But with these one-off matches, they are decided sometimes via the penalty shootout, which we will have if scores remain locked after 90 minutes.
You say we will have. I think Garvey Maceo won't mind having it. The last two games went all the way to penalties, and they would be confident to make it 3 in a row.
A lovely turn from Green. Smith. Zimenez. Lovely stuff from Zimenez. Sending this one deep though. Patterson, can he get a good ball in the box? Challenge coming in, he got some of the ball. Here's with Fletcher. Fletcher on his right. It's his own teammate who remains on the turf. Byfield still has it to the byline, overcooked it.
You know, the beautiful thing about that play from Kingston College, and we spoke about it earlier with Garvey Maceo not happening. That man in your shot, Patterson. When the ball was being switched from the far side to this near side, you could see Vassal Reynolds on the sideline as we take a look at the possible penalties. But now he got the ball long before the contact was made. But Vassal just calling Patterson to come across to lend support, because that player receiving that 30-yard pass or 40-yard pass needed to have someone to lay it off to, and Patterson played it into a mixed zone that almost resulted in them winning a penalty or a shot on goal.
It's an intriguing game so far as they battle for the Olivier Shield, the symbol of All-Ireland schoolboy football supremacy in Jamaica. But we haven't seen a goal in this one between the Manny Cup champions Kingston College and the Costa Cup winners Garvey Maceo High. They'll talk it over. We'll be back with more after this. "45 minutes to go. Here we go for the second half. Garvey Maceo will be relatively pleased as to the happenings of the first half, but maybe they will be a little bit braver. They did edge Kingston College in terms of the possession, but the majority of that was in their own half as they tried to be patient about their build-ups. But they're known for their defensive prowess. Kingston College, they did have a couple of opportunities in that first stanza, but still a whole lot of time remaining Smith was influential in that first half, had his moments. Would want to be a little bit more active in the second half. Jay-Sean Edwards collecting that one. Patterson. Gallimore. Tomlinson. Has good distribution about him. The Garvey Maceo custodian. Donaldson. Hoisting that one. Fletcher collecting that one deep. Patterson turning it all the way back. Byfield. And Gallimore is trying to hit that one.
I think for Kingston College, the second half, we've seen a little bit of it. It is Byfield and Gallimore, their runs, their movement, that Coach Reynolds is banking on to cause problems for the back line here of Garvey Maceo. As we see, the player down needing some attention is McIntosh. But yeah, it's the movement of those two up front. And from the beginning of this contest, we saw that Gallimore was really executing it to the T, and now Vassar Reynolds, he wants Byfield to chime in, and when he drops into that supporting striker role, then the likes of Gallimore will do the trick for him. But wanting to run across and running behind, I'm not going to be surprised if Kingston College do look to go a little bit even more direct here, because there's a slight, there's a slope towards the Garvey Maceo goal, and it's always difficult to get good distance when heading balls up that slope. So a lot of times we see centers very technical here as they're kicking in that direction. On your screen, it would be from right to left. Then they go very direct and put a lot of pressure on the centre backs to try and effect clearances that don't really get much distance on. Reynolds down on his knee there. Knows that this one needs some unlocking. We did say if there was a contest that would need unlocking, it was going to be this one. Both these teams would have really excelled defensively.
Yeah, 10 clean sheets for Garvey Maceo throughout the season in their 22 games. Kingston College with 11 in 19 coming into this game. So formidable defenses all around.
Punted long to the edge of the box. Kingston College trying to get out of their own area. And they do have a throw. Martin on it. Challenge coming in from McKinley. Zimines with some space to work with. Foul outside the area. Came in from Malik Robinson.
Yeah, Gallimore was just a tad bit quicker than his defender, getting to that one and left his foot there, I think, to draw the contact. And this is another good free kick opportunity coming up for Kingston College. Damian Smith couldn't quite get his deliveries right in the first half. What can he produce now?
Well, he's the one who's behind it, and he's in conversation with Dewan Green, and he's left it for Green.
Maybe not a bad option, because Green in open play has been finding his targets. Well, a confusion with Vassell. Vassell wanted it the other way around, with Green probably passing to Messi. Maybe that one wasn't well rehearsed on the training ground.
Well, I can just imagine the Garvey Maceo defense and what they're thinking as well. So it is going to be Green to Smith. Oh, lovely delivery, and how did he manage to gather that one, Garfield Tomlinson, because that looked quick and chaotic.
Yeah, there was an appeal for handball in there. Parchment was quick to point out that that came off the thigh, or if it did touch the hand, it was right next to the body, not in an unnatural position. But in the end, Kingston College did work it out and create enough confusion for Garvey Maceo.
Keepers to Paul. Back to his custodian. Edwards finding the pass upfield, and was he fouled on that occasion? Yeah, Byfield was. Free kick coming up for Kingston College in a more central area, and the yellow card is shown to Malik Robinson.
Yeah, again, just too slow to react. Here you can see on this occasion it was Byfield just getting that pivotal touch around him. And once he's late, always going to be difficult to recover. And he's giving Kingston College a free kick in a good area, relatively central.
He has been late on a couple of these challenges in the second half so far.
Well, I think on that occasion he was let down by his defensive midfielder in front of him, and then had to deal with something coming his way that should not have.
This is some way out though for Kingston College, and it's the same duo, Dewan Green and Jermaine Smith. Who's going to go for goal? Who's the headline act here? It is Smith. Another player's down for Garvey Maceo. I don't think for long though. They haven't been thoroughly entertained, I don't think. Spectators. Yeah.
Right on cue. Yeah, but certainly, as I said, yeah, they definitely want to see a lot more in front of goal. Did expect them to play a little bit more, well, freer. And to some extent they are, but a far cry to expect them to really open up. It's not in their DNA, at least not this season.
Both teams really, of course, needed the rest. It's just about a week apart.
So from France, ready?
A week since playing their last game, of course, their respective finals at the Manning Cup last Friday, the Costa Cup on the Saturday at the National Stadium.
I think Glenmere would have, having heard you said that, would have taken that week rest between their Champions Cup victory and the semi-finals.
Exactly.
Because they really showed signs of fatigue. And
the top teams in the Champions Cup didn't make it to the semis of their respective competitions in the rural area and the urban area.
Yeah, they didn't make it to the finals. All 4 teams that made the finals of respective competitions fell out at the quarterfinal stage of the Champions Cup. Normally a 2-3 weeks competition crammed in 8 days, it's always going to be taxing. And when those nerves are tired and not firing, something you really can do to get them going.
Good work at the back there as Kingston College sending this one long. Robinson with the header. Williams, and Mundell gives chase, and he's kept it in play. Christopher Mundell. Ball floated in the area, cleared away. Demain Smith has it. Martin. Smith again. Zimenez. Nice find. Martin collecting that one, was pushed in the back. Free kick awarded to Kingston College.
Seeing some nice patterns of play from Kingston College, again in possession there. Patient, but still looking for that incisive moment anytime it arrives, and the players are doing a good job of identifying those moments.
I think what's good with it is that they progress the ball each time.
Well, here's a shot from distance, and really adventurous. So too that one from Green. Turned out to be a half-decent pass to Patterson. Patterson settles for the corner.
That certainly worked out well for Kingston College.
It did, in the end.
But yeah, the difference with them, as you're saying, Olivier, when they are in their attacking organizational phase, is that they gradually progress nonetheless. It's not always in horizontal passes, sideways. It's still a slight vertical. So they do make, even if it's small, progression.
Corner kick coming in is not a bad one. Got enough on it. Did Tomlinson.
And he has gone down.
Yeah. Kingston College, they continue with play. And eventually the play stopped for Tomlinson.
Yeah, had to come through some traffic there to effect the punch.
Ice and water always coming through for the physio.
This is the most used thing in football here as well. The evidence of what we've seen here, we wouldn't bet against this going all the way. To the dreaded penalties. Still a third to go of the game. they might yet still have a part to play in changing that narrative or helping it get there.
Mr. Hibbert screaming for his boys to press. Kingston College giving up the possession easily.
Yeah, I think that was just a wayward pass. The intention was there and the space was there to play it, but wayward pass from Williams, but Kingston College win it back, and that man, Dewan Green again. And once again, I think he's having a massive impact on this Kingston College midfield. Getting up a bit gingerly, actually, following that challenge. The play continues around him.
There is Green, trying to walk it off now. Patterson. KC, they have it. Trying to turn back around the corner. Byfield. This is a foot race here. And Garvey Maceo in charge. Can he put it away? Yes, he does! It's him again. It's a Marion O'Brien. It's a magic trick that they go for over and over again. He is, though, a big game player. And Kingston College, they were caught out. And Olivier O'Brien gets his 14th goal of the campaign. He does it again for Garvey Maceo.
Yeah, it was a Route 1 football played from back to front. And O'Brien was in his own half, so he couldn't be offside. And yeah, there was no catching him. Chase as you like, Paul. You don't have enough speed to get to him. And the finish, too, was quite composed and calm. Yeah, as the goalkeeper came, a bit belated too, I felt. Should have been much earlier if he decided to come. And when you choose between the legs, always going to be difficult. But it was Kingston College's own attacking type of play that caught them out. The commitment of 6 players high. And then a turnover, that was an unforced error, you'd call it. And then from back to front, a clearance. And they were caught out. And just like that, Garvey, they have a hand on that Olivier Shield.
And that's actually the first time that Garvey Maceo have scored a goal in an Olivier Shield game. 2007, beaten 2-0 by Jamaica College. 2021, beaten 2-0 by Kingston College. For the first time they're ahead. And Garvey Maceo, one thing we've learned over the past couple of weeks, typically when they do have a full head of steam, they usually convert in some way or another. They converted there to get the goal, the go-ahead goal in this Olivier Shield contest.
I've been talking about having outlets, and remember to download the SportsMax app from the App Store or the Google Play Store, and the sporting content will certainly get the sporting enthusiast glued to their devices. But we're talking about the outlets and how important it is to have an outlet. 1 or 2, we see a yellow card now coming up for that challenge shown to Martin. But always important to have a player up. And I mean, yes, you have to have your defensive shape, but you need outlets when you get hold of the football. And on that occasion, O'Brien just came central from his normal wide position and just raced through. We saw Garvey in the set plays committing all their players to defensive setup, not having outlets. Now, it's going to be interesting, Olivier, to see their shape without the ball. If they really overcompensate.
Taking along that right channel to the goal scorer, O'Brien. Oh, that's lovely. That wasn't from Swaby. It's another chance for Garvey Maceo's number 13. And again, he couldn't hit the target.
Yeah, found himself in acres of space, the Deverell Swaby. His composure deserted him as he decided to take that shot on.
Tomlinson thinking of all the ways he can eat up a few more seconds.
Let me tell you what, we saw him 0-all in the finals, and 57 minutes was on the clock when he was looking to slow it down. You can imagine it 1-0 up, 60 odd minutes on the clock.
Garvey Maceo looking for their first Olivier Shield win.
It's an hydration break now. Yeah.
Yeah, they've had the opportunities. They've been here twice before, Garvey Maceo. And now they have the lead. The question is, can Kingston College come back?
Every ball play over, nobody to latch on the ball. We staying back as if we're playing midfielders. We're not reacting as strikers.
Kingston College, of course, have only one, in all honesty, one Olivier Shield in the past 38 years. There's a long gap between them winning Manning Cup titles, of course, 1986 to 2018. They failed to beat Clarendon College in that 2018 Olivier Shield. 3 years later, winning the Manning Cup again, beat Garvey Maceo here at St. Elizabeth Technical. It's clear that they won't be having it all their own way in this game like they would have in that Olivier Shield a few seasons ago. Garvey Maceo were denied a Triple Crown in 2007, having beat Glenmuir in the Da Costa Cup final, and then Manning's, or beg your pardon, Rossies in the Ben Francis Cup final, unable to beat JC in the Olivier Shield. And they're looking to win the only trophy that they haven't won yet in schoolboy football at the under-19 level.
Green goes long. Garvey Maceo, they do have numbers back. Donaldson with it. Trying to get it back from Swaby, but Swaby luckily gets the bounce and then just ran out of steam. Not sure exactly what happened there with Swaby. Green. Patterson, can he keep that one in play? No. Kingston College are set to make a couple of changes now as they go for goal. Kache Fletcher has been a little bit off colour this afternoon, and he's been taken out of the firing line. Gallimore is also out as well.
Yeah, coming out of the cooling break, you were not surprised that he has pulled one of the strikers off the park, because he wasn't pleased. He was, Vassal Reynolds, he was saying he's not getting the type of movement. They're dropping a bit too deep, and more like supporting strikers or midfield players. We'll wait to see if Calvin Brown will do different.
There's Garvey Maceo, but too much on that one.
Yeah, it's a brand for you. I mean, heel too could work sometimes. He frustrates as a player, but you know there's quality in there, and you keep him on for that, and they would have seen that after 97 minutes in the finals. And here today, they saw it.
Kelvin Brown is what, 14 years old now? Scored one of the goals of the season last year. Did the youngster for Kingston College. Played the majority of his minutes this season at the under 16 level, at the Colts level. Smith, lovely, goes down, was looking for a call in his favor. nothing doing. Just heard that Kelvin Brown recently turned 15. So yeah, still a boy in these things.
It looks like a man out here, his size.
Oh, he's going through a growth spurt. That's for sure. Looking for the space to shoot, and ran out of ideas as well. Did Everell Swaby?
Tell you what, there was a pass on to come into the space just right off the Garvey Maceo's back line, where Brown could have just run into.
Kelvin Brown being held, finding Smith. And Smith with a dink forward. The keeper is off his line, and the flag goes up.
Yeah, a couple of Kingston College players were offside on that move. Kingston College trying to up the tempo as they search for an equalizer in this contest.
Green. Kingston College, what can they manufacture here? They don't find themselves in positions too often where they haven't scored this season.
Interesting to see too, Donald, with Garvey, and we've seen some signs that they were looking to do that, but go for the second. They're here because they did have a chance to come back in that Acosta Cup final. Agar never got the second goal. They would have learned from that too, and recognizing that this game is still alive and in the balance as long as it stays at 1-0.
Well, Garvey Maceo with the ball. Not a lot of support for him right now. Trying to utilize his skill to get by his marker. Didn't have enough on that occasion. Smith decided to go early over the top.
Yeah, that was an excellent starting position though from Tomlinson, the Garvey Maceo net, basically alleviating any threat that there would be of that ball in behind. And that's essential when a defense is trying to keep a stable line.
In fact, I would have preferred Green just going down the side there again in the air where Brown is. I just feel like there is space to the side of this Garvey Maceo defense because they get so narrow now in the defense. You can run those channels. They might be playing in their hands, just trying to go central.
Lovely control from McIntosh, but it was a pass to nowhere in the end from the right back.
I mean, just look how narrow that back line gets for Garvey. They try their best to stay central. Can have runners in the half space and out wide, play it to those flank. And again, Kingston College goes central.
Jimenez to Smith. Green. Green again, trying to go over the top. We've seen that on quite a few occasions. Hasn't come off as yet for Kingston College. Casey in the attacking third, but Garvey Maceo defending stubbornly. They have a free kick in the own penalty area.
And now it's Garvey Maceo first. All of those defensive actions that they have to make. It seems as if they'll be looking to freshen up their team as well, preparing a substitution.
Dowse, Patterson. Rashawn White is getting ready to come on for Garvey Maceo.
Yeah, interestingly, Rashawn White, he's an attacking midfielder. Maybe looking Williams coming out so like for like to Harry Williams.
Hasn't really impacted the game, has he?
Not much in the early part. He was there about on the fringes, but falling off since.
Smith. Green. Striding forward. That's a lovely ball. Byfield sends it across straight into the hands of Tomlinson. Bread and butter for the custodian.
And I think Byfield was a bit on his heels as that pass was played. So not able to react and ended up having to chase and then not able to direct the cross as he would have liked. Another give up from Garvey.
Yep, Smith touching it inside. Martin. And here's Dowse with the effort. Looking to add to his, just a one goal so far for him this season. Martin. Kingston College trying to build up a little pressure here. And that will be a corner kick. No, a throw in. That's what hard work gets you. Play continues. Here's Casey looking desperately for the equalizer. Free kick coming up.
And Green really driving to the heart of this Garvey Maceo team in terms of them being very narrow, so he was definitely going to go in traffic. I don't think quite necessarily I've had to bring him down there, but possibly just trying to make sure he doesn't get closer to goal. I did have a strike from this distance earlier. I think it was Smith who took it, sailed way over. And I see the custodian for Garvey Maceo down on the turf again.
Yeah, I think this is an attempt to get the referee's attention to the change that they would like to make as well, with Rashawn White getting set to come on.
Yeah, the laws of the game affords that, because as you know, the game cannot continue with the goalkeeper down.
Here's the SportsMax app moment of the game. Courtesy of the SportsMax app, it was a lovely ball over the top. And he had acres of space to run into, provided a really good finish. Omarion O'Brien, the difference maker for Garvey Maceo. Cool finish too. And the difference maker in this match with the 14th goal of the campaign. That's a SportsMax app moment of the game. And now, a free kick for Kingston College. They've eventually made the change. They have made the change, with White coming on for Donaldson, or Williams rather. There is White, the young man from Trelawney.
did come over to me at the end of the final and he said, yeah, we want it. The Trelawney flavor is in it.
Here's a free kick into the wall from Dowse. Green. And the flag will go up for offside. There's the punt.
You also wonder how long before. There's not much time left in this one, just 8 minutes plus time added on, and that man in your picture, you wonder how long before he goes all out, because haven't been a major tactical tweak since going behind.
That's not to say that they haven't created the chances.
No, not at all. But you're getting into that, the desperation time frame.
Garvey Maceo, nice turn in the danger area. Swaby hits it straight to Malik Williams.
That was good positioning from Williams, and that's what you give goalkeeper sometimes. You say the player hit it straight to him, but his positioning, that was quite good. In fact, I felt the goal Garvey scored to win the championship, the DaCosta Cup, the McGrath goalkeeper was badly positioned as well.
Well, here's Casey through Demain Smith, beats one on his left, sends this one across. Oh, it's an own goal! It's an absolute nightmare for Garvey Maceo and Tyreek McKinley. They were applying the pressure, Kingston College, and with a stroke of luck, they've got the equalizer. It's 1-1.
You talk about luck, Donald, but you make your own luck in this sport, and definitely that ball going across was really played in a good position between last defender and goalkeeper, and you get defenders turning around. Always difficult to defend facing your goal. And look, a lovely ball in between defender and goalkeeper. Lack of communication from Tomlinson. Obviously didn't call. And yeah, good movement from Smith there, and the ball, like I said, into that space that says, come on, one of my players, get on to the end of it. Defenders have to turn around. Definitely no talk from Tomlinson.
Yeah, extremely unfortunate for Garvey Maceo, but that piece of luck was created by some individual brilliance from Smith. The man who was the man of the match in the Manning Cup final comes up big now in the Olivier Shield as well. And O'Brien goes on an amazing run here.
Yeah, here he is, setting it out wide. O'Brien, can he rescue Garvey Maceo again? Free kick coming up for the DaCosta Cup Kingpins. The scoreline remains tied. After 90 minutes, we go to penalties. Will we see another lottery here?
And it would be the third consecutive time that Garvey Maceo would head to a penalty shootout. The DaCosta Cup semi-final, the DaCosta Cup final, which they both won, obviously. Could it happen again? But they would be on the other end of things, having been up. But there's still time for another goal, of course.
Yep, they have a free kick, Garvey Maceo. This one sent inside, and Williams takes the catch.
Yeah, again, good catch from Williams. Initially started to come off the line, but read the trajectory quite quickly and was able to collect effortlessly. And they're certainly trying to win it in normal time, Kingston College.
Here is Zimenez with a run. Smith with a wonderful ball across. Tomlinson has built it, and the whistle goes.
Well, it's on the second attempt the whistle went, saying that both hands were on the ball. As a big call from Parchment. We'll see on the replay. But, yeah, let's have a look at this one. So he took it down. Yeah, didn't take it well. Now, let's look at that. No, didn't have both hands on it. I tell you what, I felt he had all right to go for it. And that's the thing about Tomlinson, I believe. Good shot stopper, good penalty.
Here's an opportunity again for Kingston College, but back there, Ronaldo Hitchman. Casey will try again. Martin on it. Challenge had come in from McKinley. Donaldson now for Garvey Maceo. Interception made by Zimenez. Now it's with Smith. They try to hurry. Not the best clearance, but Garvey Maceo should come away with the possession. Couple players pressing. Garvey Maceo still with it. Calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah, just taking the sting out of it and just getting into their attacking organizational phase. But you know, we've been harping about the space on our near side here, Ligier. That's where the goal came from for Kingston College, and that's where they're causing much problems. And we did see it early because of the narrowness of the defense of Garvey, that the space was right here beneath our commentary box.
O'Brien with a run. And coming across strongly was Zimenez. So both teams making changes. So Deshaun Byfield is coming off. Davian Clark comes on. David Clark was come on, just turned 15. Christopher Mundle is taken out. And Roger McLaughlin will score the winning penalty in that Augusta Cup final. Makes his way on for Garvey Maceo.
Preparation for the lottery.
How is Mundle not a part of these things, though?
Well, you tell you, sometimes it's not just technique, it's the nerves for it as well. And you know, as a coach, I've had players who says, "Coach, I don't want any of it. I mean, my player that I'll keep on the park, because he's so crucial to my open play, just doesn't want to have anything to do with the penalties." And that's just it. You know, you'd feel technically should, and I expect him to, but yeah, that walk from the center circle too.
Well, here's Garvey Maceo coming forward. O'Brien on it. O'Brien unleashing wide off the mark.
Yeah, never looked like he really wanted to take that stride, and that was always needing to go across goal. And he waited and waited and felt, you know what, then I have no choice.
We're hearing 4 minutes of stoppages will be added.
But just surprised too that, you know, Casey took so long to really exploit the space on this Garvey Maceo's right side of the defense line. Once they went ahead, it was almost instantaneously after that, you know, they got so narrow and that space began to show up.
There's a confirmation. Could there be another twist in the tail?
It wasn't quite as dramatic as they were part of.
Long ball upfield, searching. Garvey Maceo in the own defensive third. Trying to play through the tame Kingston College press at the moment, but it proves to be enough. Here they are on it. Jermaine Smith. Smith, oh, wonderfully done. Too much on the cross. But it's going to be kept alive by Dowse. They thought they had it before the own goal.
Kingston College.
Green trying to get the ball inside, and it goes out for a throw-in.
Kingston College actually preparing a substitution here right at the last. It's going to be a goalkeeper change. Malik Williams, who would have lost twice in penalty shootouts for Kingston College last season in the Manning Cup semi-final and the Champions Cup final semi-final, replaced by Dominic Robinson. In the 93rd minute of play, a move clearly geared towards the penalty shootout.
Yeah, Garvey have their goalkeeping hero in goal.
Well, here's the ball inside the area, looking for the spectacular, missed it totally. Still a couple of minutes remaining here. Will that be kept in play? It will. McLaughlin looking for options, ran into traffic. Garvey Maceo, they give a possession. Casey with one more opportunity here. Brown seeking some help. Kelvin Brown. None was forthcoming. We're in the final minute of stoppage time by our watch. Still something in it. Omarion O'Brien trying to ride a second challenge that came in strongly from Ziminez. I think the free kick has been awarded.
It has been awarded. Hibbert just got ahead of himself. I think Parchment just playing a little bit more advantage to see if any would ensue, and then calling it back. But as coaches, that's how we are at times. And there are times when we say he should have allowed the advantage, so the referee can't win most times. But yeah, Kingston College certainly have played their ace card, you feel, with their goalkeeping change, trying to match Garvey, because they will know that Tomlinson in goal is big for them.
But what can Garvey Maceo do to test Dominic Robinson now? Virtually with the last play of the 90.
Almost looked as if he was a deer in headlights there. But here's McIntosh and the delivery, and there's too much on it. Should have left it alone, Pattison.
Yeah, but again, goalkeeper, probably no communication to him. He turned around and he said, but nobody said anything to me. He was unaware of his position and how close he was to the goal line. And again, now, you know, if you're Garvey, you want to put this right on top of the goalkeeper, because easier for the shot stopping, not necessarily for, you know, coming and claiming. And he's not the biggest lad either.
He is not the
in
biggest
this crowd.
On the goal line.
Could prove crucial here. If he was going to put him on, you felt it would have to be that time.
Omarion O'Brien. Can he make something with this delivery? Here it comes. It's headed away. That's the last bit of action for the 90 in this Olivier Shield playoff. We are heading to penalties to decide the winner in this one between Garvey Maceo, the Acosta Cup champions, and Kingston College, the Manning Cup winners.
Well, we rehearsed this a lot on the training ground, and it did get actual game time rehearsal before this one, Garvey. We saw Hibbert at the end of the final, when the final whistle went, he was just panting like he was exhausted himself from his exploits on the touchline. And I don't think they have to do much going over here. They have their fixed list already of penalty takers. Kingston College there, we see them going over their list. and probably as well showing, because Garvey, you know, it could work against them depending, because they've done this twice, and we see our Kingston College just now going over their list, but also showing the goalkeeper on the phone as well, the way the penalties are taken and the numbers that, you know, take them this particular way. So the fact that they've been successful twice, then they might just let the rabbit out the hat